Some kinds of calming down do not actually free you. They just return you to the same defense pattern. And because you do not break down, the old problem can hide even deeper. Imagine you have a meeting tomorrow. There is one person in that room who interrupted you last time, with that light tone that made you feel stupid in front of everyone. The meeting has not even started, but you have already changed. You are not preparing your ideas. You are preparing your defense. What not to say, what not to show on your face, how to look fine if you get challenged. Then you do something very modern. You breathe, you relax your shoulders, you tell yourself, calm down, and maybe it works. Your body gets quieter. But here is the problem. If you calm down and still decide to say less, if your body recovers and you still make yourself smaller before anything happens, then what recovered was your body, not the old prediction. That is why this video is called Your Vagus Nerve Won't Save You. Now, this is not an attack on breathing, exercise, sleep, or nervous system regulation. Those things can help the body come back from an alarm. But if the meaning of the alarm never changes, your life can still get smaller. The body is calmer, but the old pathway is still there. This person equals danger. That tone equals humiliation. This room means be careful. This kind of situation means do not expose yourself. So a more precise way to say it is this. Your vagus nerve can help the body recover from an alarm, but it cannot decide what that alarm means. It cannot decide whether this moment is actually dangerous, or whether an old humiliation is now planning your future in advance. And it cannot stop a defensive pattern that has been completing itself for years. Recovery is not the same as relearning. A lot of advice today says, build new neural pathways. And that is not wrong. New habits, new relationships, new movement, new environments, all of these can change the system. But there is one missing step. If the old loop never stops completing itself, the new habit can simply become a better disguise for the old fear. You start working out, but the deeper message is, I must never look weak. You find a new social circle, but the deeper message is, I must never be around anyone who challenges me. You start meditating, but the deeper message is, I must get rid of discomfort as quickly as possible. On the surface, these are new habits. Underneath, it is the same old pattern. Danger is coming. Control everything. Shrink first. Win before you can be hurt. So before the brain builds a new pathway, the old pathway has to stop completing itself. Not by physically cutting off neurons. That is not what this means. It means the chain does not run all the way through. Stimulus, prediction, defense, and then a smaller life. For one moment, that chain does not finish. That moment can be very small, but without it, a new habit can become an expensive costume for an old fear. This is where relaxation needs to be understood differently. Most people treat relaxation like a pause button. You are tired, overwhelmed, or triggered, so you relax. But for this topic, relaxation is not just a pause. Relaxation is training. Long-term, stable body-mind relaxation teaches the system something it may not believe yet. Not every similar person, room, or moment of being seen is an attack. This does not happen through one breath. It happens through many small experiences. A walk, slow movement that is not about winning. Time in nature long enough for the body to stop performing. A conversation where you do not have to defend yourself. These may sound ordinary, but the point is not only that they are healthy. The point is that they give the system repeated evidence. I am not defending right now, and nothing bad is happening. Real moments where the body and mind are not locked in defense. Over time, the old pathway has less fuel, and a new choice is no longer growing out of the old fear. Buddhist psychology has a very useful way to look at this. It is called the 5 aggregates, or skandhas, but you do not need to treat it like a religious term. Think of it as a map of how experience gets processed. First, information comes in. The meeting, the room, that person, the tone of voice, the eyes watching you. Then a feeling tone appears. Tight, uncomfortable, defensive, the urge to hide or prove yourself. Then the mind names it. This is dangerous. He is going to embarrass me. I cannot make a mistake. Then action tendencies appear. Say less, please them, fight back, over-prepare. Leave early, even if your body stays in the room. Finally, a story forms. Places like this are not for me. People like this are not safe. If I am seen, I will be hurt. Pain does not fully stick just because the body reacts. It sticks when an ordinary signal gets processed into an entire life strategy. This is where Buddhism goes deeper than a relaxation technique. It does not only ask, how do I calm down? It asks, how did one feeling become a whole world? And once that world feels personal, Buddhist psychology would call it self-grasping, or atma graha. The mind takes a changing alarm and turns it into identity. Not just, there is tension, but this is what always happens to me. So the goal is not to have no alarm. It is not to train the body until it never reacts. The core is this. The alarm can still be there, but it does not have to become the whole story. You still walk into the room tomorrow. You still know that person might interrupt you. You might still feel a little defense in the body. But this time, the old loop does not run to completion. It does not immediately push you into saying less, shrinking, proving, or losing the meeting before it starts. There is a small space, and in that space, you can choose. You can listen to the actual question. You can answer only what was asked. You can refuse to turn one meeting into a verdict on your whole life. This is not positive thinking. This is the moment when the old pathway does not complete itself. The practice does not need to be complicated. It is more like one continuous training. First, build a low defense baseline. Give the system some time every day where it does not have to brace. Walking, nature, sleep, slow movement, stable relationships, an interest that does not need to produce anything. These are not decorations. They train the system to recognize a state. I am not tense, and nothing is collapsing. Then interrupt the loop in one small behavior. Start with one action, not your biggest fear. If you automatically lower your voice around forceful people, keep your normal volume once. If you explain too much when questioned, answer with one clear fact. If you enter a pressure situation and shrink, bring attention back to what is happening now, not to the old humiliation. Then change the environment so new evidence can actually happen. If a circle keeps you in constant alert, leaving is not avoidance. If life has become work, screens, and endless self-analysis, then nature, movement, interests, and real social contact are not decorations. They are new evidence. A low defense baseline, one small interruption, an environment where new evidence can happen. When these three work together, the old loop begins to lose fuel. It is not broken by one clever idea. It loosens because, again and again, it does not receive the same confirmation. So yes, your vagus nerve won't save you. More precisely, it cannot save you alone. It can help your body come back from alarm, but it cannot decide what the alarm means. It cannot separate now from then. It cannot stop the old prediction from completing itself. Real change may not mean you never feel alarm again. It may mean your life does not immediately shrink when alarm appears. The body still reacts. The old prediction still appears. But the story is no longer written automatically. From there, relaxation is no longer just relaxation. It becomes a habit, a long training, a way for the old pattern to slowly lose power. And only then does a new choice have somewhere to grow.